Hello and welcome to my video on doing gradient nails. To start, you'll want to take some 100% acetone. Now, if you don't have 100% acetone, you can use any regular acetone, but I like the 100% because I find that it works the best in dehydrating your nails. The point of this is to dehydrate your nails, as I said, also to clean all of the debris, dirt, oils, whatever, everything off of your nail so that you're working with a blank canvas. I find that this helps to make your nail polish adhere best, and I just get the best results this way. Next, I take a little bit of lotion on a Q-tip. I like the oily lotions, like these dry skin, heavy lotions. I take that and I apply it on a Q-tip. And what I do is I put it right around my cuticles and around my fingers while I'll be working. And I make a point not to get it on my nails. As you see, I'm not putting that on my nail. I'm putting it around my cuticles, around my fingers, basically around where I'm going to be working. The point to this is to make it easier once we are done with our nail art and our gradient, to make it easier to clean up our mess, because there will be a mess. Gradients are very messy and there will almost always be a mess. Now, I messed up at one point here, right here. I actually got it on my nail, not just on my finger. So I went back with the cotton swab of acetone and I cleaned it off, because you don't want to get any of the lotion on your actual fingernails. Now you're ready to apply base coat. I like Essie's base coat, so I use that. Use whatever base coat makes sense for you. I like Essie. Go ahead and apply your base coat one finger at a time, one nail at a time. Don't be too crazy with adding a thick layer because you don't need to. Just thin, clear layers of your base coat will be just fine. And you don't need to go crazy also waiting for it to dry. By the time you apply your base coat to all 10 of your nails, you'll be ready to work and add your color. So go ahead and do so. You also want to make sure to cap your free edge. It's not just a thing you do with your color, but also with your base coat with all coats. As you see here, I actually dropped the nail polish on my finger, so I had to go back and clean it up and reapply the lotion around my finger. But go ahead and apply that to all 10 of your nails, and then we'll get started on the color. And yes, don't forget to cap your free edge. I know I already said that, but don't forget to do it. It is actually very important. It helps keep your manicure looking great and not have it lift or chip. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves, is when my manicure that I spent however long doing starts lifting or chipping. It makes me very sad and it makes me very want to cry. Not a good time for anyone involved. Now that you've done that, you can go ahead and move on to your color. I'm using white as my color, and again, it's an Essie brand polish. Whatever color you want, whatever brand you want, doesn't matter. I'm doing a peach pink into a faded white, so the white is my back color. I like to use white as my back color, or use the lighter color that you're using as your back color, because when you put the gradient over the darker colors, they tend not to show as well. So I usually pick whatever my lightest color is going to be and I apply that. Now, when you're applying your base color, in my case white, don't go too crazy with worrying about it being perfect. The reality of it is the gradient that you're going to be applying is going to smooth out any, imperfections in even in the color. I mean, if you even see that I'm painting here, you can tell that it's not the smoothest job I've ever done in my life, and I'm not really worried about it because it's going to get smoothed out. It's going to work itself out once you do the gradient. Also, when you're painting your nails with your base color, do be sure to cap your free edge. It is very important. You'll see that I do go back because I missed my first 2 fingers there, and I do go back and I cap my free edge, and that's something that you definitely want to do. Try not to apply too thick of a coat, because when you are going to need to let this dry completely, and if you apply very thick coats, then you're going to need to wait much longer. So go ahead and color your base color on all 10 of your nails, and once you're done, we can start applying a top coat. You'll also notice I'm not really going too crazy with worrying about coloring outside the line, so to speak, because you are going to have to go back and clean up anyway, so don't stress yourself out with making it perfect. Just make sure you're covering your nail completely and working your way from there. Now that we have finished coloring our base color on all 10 of our nails, we can move on to our top coat. I like Sèche Vite. I find that it makes a very glossy finish, which I love, and it goes on very smoothly, which I love. And it dries super, super fast, which is awesome because I don't have time to wait around forever. So once you're ready to apply your top coat, go ahead and do so. And again, for the 100th time, cap your free edge. If you guys don't cap your free edge, you can't say I didn't tell you. Cap your free edge. Very important. It really does help your manicure last much, much, much longer. So you want to work your way through all of your 10 fingers, applying your top coat. And once you're done, you're going to want to let that dry. I, of course, let mine dry completely. And while I was waiting to let mine dry, I made a point to have a nice little icy. Love my flavor ice. Love it, love it, love it. Now that we're ready to apply the gradient, because your nails are now dry, you want to soak a makeup sponge in water, and you do want to completely submerge it. You want to make sure it is completely wet, and then you want to squeeze out the excess water because we definitely don't need it to be soaking wet, but we do need it to be completely moist. You now want to go ahead and pick your colors that you're going to be applying for your gradient. Like I said, I did a light pink peachy color into a white, fading into a white. So I'm using acrylics. You can also use nail polish for this. I just like the way acrylics apply better. I find that it just goes on a lot smoother, so that's what I do. You take your makeup sponge and your either nail polish brush, or in this case a paintbrush, and you apply the color right onto the sponge, and you do so in a line as you're going to see here. And you don't want to be stingy with the color. You do want to apply quite a bit of color, because the more color you apply, the darker and the more full the color will be, the body of the color will be, and that's what you want. You want to make sure that that color is something that you can really see and that really stands out in your manicure. Unless you don't. I mean, if you're looking for a very subtle effect, then apply less color. You are going to need to do this to whatever your liking and your preference is. And then you want to apply that base color as well. Now, I did 2 colors. You can do more than 2 colors. If you want to do, more than 2 colors, go ahead. But what you have to do is you have to blot it right on your nail. It's very easy. You're just going to blot, 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 dab, 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 until it is the color that you want it to be, until the effect is the way that you want it to be. I went back, as you're going to see going forward, I went back several times. I added more color. I reapplied the paint to my sponge several times, and I just kept reapplying. You want to just keep doing this over and over and over again until you get the effect and the color that you want. I wasn't satisfied with how much color was going on to my nail, so I kept doing it. I just kept adding more and more color until it was exactly what I wanted it to be. So you want to work your way through all of your hands, all of your fingers, obviously, and keep applying color, keep reapplying the color until it is the way that you want it to be. Another thing I want to say, and just bear in mind, is don't get overly concerned especially if you're using acrylic paint, if the color, if the gradient looks a little bit like dotty or splotchy, that will smooth out, and you'll see that it smooths out once you put a top coat over everything. But you do want to just keep going until you get the effect that you want. Like I said, if you want to do more than 2 colors, you're more than welcome to. You can do 2, 3, 4 colors. Absolutely. Just you want to apply them in a line in the order you want the gradient to appear. And just, blah, 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 dab, dab, dab until you get the desired effect. You'll notice that I spent a lot of time on my pointer finger, and that's because I just couldn't get the effect that I wanted, so I just kept going back. I ended up doing all of my nails, and then I went back again to my pointer finger because it was the one hand that the one finger that just didn't seem to get the right color. So you just have to keep going back and keep trying and keep applying until it is what you want it to be. Once you have it at the desired color and the desired effect that you want it to be, you can move on and you can go ahead and apply your top coat. I was not quite ready for that just yet. I wanted to keep applying more color. So as you'll see, I added more color and I went right to that pointer finger because it just wasn't, the pink wasn't deep enough for me. Now you want to wait and allow your nails to dry completely so that it doesn't smear when you do the top coat. I once again applied a Setch Vite top coat, and you want to go ahead and do that. You'll notice that as soon as you start applying that top coat, the gradient really smooths out, and I think that's partially because Setch Vite is so good and glossy. It just kind of smooths out whatever imperfections you might have. I do love Setch Vite. Again, for the millionth time, cap your free edge, and there you go. There's your nail effect. Now you want to go back with the 100% acetone and clean up. You'll see that it comes right off. That's a combination of the lotion we applied earlier as well as the acetone itself. It is very good for cleaning. You want to take your time with this step. You don't want to rush. You don't want to be speeding through it. If you're going to take your time on anything during this process, take your time during this part of it. I probably spent more time cleaning up my nails than I did actually painting them, because it really is, to me, the most important part. You want to make sure it's clean, it looks nice, and you want to make sure your cuticles especially are clean, because that will, in addition to capping your free edge, keeping your cuticles clean and keeping them clear and cleaning them off with the acetone is going to ensure that your manicure lasts that much longer, because there won't be anywhere for it to bend and lift at. So go ahead and work your way through all of your fingers and clean up all of that gradient mess. And once you are done, you will get to see the finished product. And again, take your time. Don't rush through it. I mean, it is going to take a little bit of time, but it's totally worth it. I mean, I got several compliments on these nails after having done them. So you definitely want to take your time, and you don't want to rush through this part of it at all. Once you are done cleaning up your nails, you do want to apply lotion. Whatever lotion you want is fine by me, but you do want to apply lotion. I again went back with that greasy thick oil. I applied it to all of my hands, but I pay special attention to my cuticles because you don't want those to dry out, and the acetone does have a tendency to dry out your cuticles. So go ahead and apply that to all of your hands and to your cuticles, and you are good to go. See there? Beautiful effect. It's wonderful, and I hope you guys send me your pictures. Thanks so much for watching. Do give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please comment with any questions, or if you have any requests, let me know. And please do subscribe. Thanks so much for watching.